with every new glimpse we get at Kamen Rider Zeztz, and we just had like a new trailer drop like now, every glimpse I see of it fills me with a new hope for the future of not only Kamen Rider, but just the popularity of Tokusatsu in general in the West. What do you guys think, though? Do you agree with me? What do you guys think about the trailers? Because I really put in the comments down below what you think about these trailers, because I think they look stunning. I think they look super cool and awesome. Every teaser, even the design itself. Which let's start about the design. As a whole, they're pushing this so incredibly hard as a new, fresh start for Kamen Rider. This is exactly what they did for 01. They harken back to the original Ichigo design with the green grasshopper motif and everything. Which, because 01 obviously started of Reiwa era. Oh, this is the new beginning and everything. And now they're doing a new beginning again, just like 5-6 series later, which is kind of funny to me. But unlike Kamen Rider 01, which while it does have an English release, they are not pushing it nearly as hard, like globally as this. This is unprecedented so far. That has to be the reason why they made it look so like traditionally Kamen Rider. The only times when they bring out like the green grasshopper look is when they're really nostalgia baiting at that point. They're really pushing. It's either the first or Shin Kamen Rider, where it's literally just remaking the original, or it's like one of the 50 different movie suit costumes that look like Ichigo or Nigo, and they're just trying to be like, guys, look, it's like the original series. But this is sort of that same principle, but it's less nostalgia baiting and more just trying to set the status quo back to 0. Because if we're assuming that because they're pushing this so incredibly much to a Western audience, it's not going to be... Listen, no matter how much Kamen Rider gets pushed, it will never, ever in a trillion years be the cultural phenomenon that Power Rangers was in the 90s. It's always going to live in Super Sentai's shadow. That is the reality of the world we live in. Now, it's at that point, it's just because it came first. It's just, it happened first. It was the first major exposure in the West that hit it big. And so, even though people at this point are sick, absolutely sick of Mighty Morphin, just to an absurd degree, you simply cannot deny that it is going to be the cultural icon forever. I remember I made a Shin Kamen Rider Hongo costume a few years ago for Halloween, and I had to explain the concept to my parents, and like my friends and stuff. And the only way I could think of was just that, oh, it's like kind of the predecessor to like Japanese Power Rangers. And it kind of makes me sick to my stomach to say that, not in like it's not like my Japanese series, oh my gosh, I'm not like that, but just in a way that it's like, I know Masked Rider was stupid and bad, but the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was also kind of cringe, less cringe than Masked Rider. Let's be real. I'm not defending what's that furry freak's name, that creature or whatever. Put it on screen, future me. I'm not defending that at all. But even my parents know who Power Rangers is. And I just wish that maybe Masked Rider took off. Maybe Kamen Rider Dragon Knight could have really been the thing that took off. But no, we don't live in that reality. Instead, we're just in a small little pocket, us Toku fans. We're going to be stuck in that pocket forever unless something happens right here, right now, okay? Theorize with me, okay, right? Power Rangers just got announced for Fortnite, right? Now, I know that might be the hardest left turn in a video ever. Possibly in the history of anything ever. But Power Rangers just got into Fortnite, which means everything's gonna change. No, but it sparked this sort of online resurgence of people like missing Power Rangers ever since Power Rangers kind of ended, and people have never, even Power Rangers fans, I don't think. The ending of what was the last series, Cosmic Fury or whatever the hell. Even that was intensely controversial, and even with like diehard Power Rangers fans who were still watching every single series. I would say to this day, but no, they stopped doing it. Hence my point. They've ever since then. There's just been, I see every now and then sprinkles and whispers on like Twitter and other social media in general of just people like kind of yearning for this type of content, right? Even in unrelated, I see people complain about like superhero movie fatigue and everything, and even shows, and I hear people talking about like, oh man, I wish we had longer seasons of episodic formats, like Monster of the Week formats, and no shows are like that anymore. It's such a shame, and there's not enough practical effects. So like, no, you're missing out. It's Kamen Rider has been doing this for ages. Okay, well, practical effects. Okay. Well, there's a lot of CGI nowadays, for better or worse. I don't think I'd ever say Kamen Rider CGI is good. I don't think I've ever said it, but it works. It works. I can suspend my disbelief enough for it to not particularly bother me. I actually don't know what's the stance on like the bad CGI in like Tokusatsu shows. I don't like see discussions about it online. What's your guys' opinions on that? Feel free to tell me, because I do want to know. Anyways, this vacuum that's been created, this like heavy nostalgia for Power Rangers and stuff. There's now a power vacuum, a Power Rangers power vacuum. I'm so funny. Anyways, and Power Rangers getting added to Fortnite has kind of brought even more attention to that vacuum, because they did a really good live action segment that was very true to like the Toku style, and people were talking about it. People were talking about it in these online spaces, and I'm just thinking to myself, if Kamen Rider can take over the Power Rangers power vacuum, just to assimilate it into itself, we could see the biggest resurgence of Kamen Rider like fame since like Dragon Knight, I guess. And it's taken me 8 minutes of ranting. That's what this series is about. It's taken me 8 minutes of ranting to get to this one point right here, where I think if Kamen Rider doesn't get pseudo popular, just anything any more popular now, I don't think it's ever going to again, unless a god descends from the heavens and declares the Kamen Rider rapture, and everyone suddenly becomes a Kamen Rider fan. I don't think it's gonna happen, and unless this gets popular. Which is why I'm hoping it's very good. Everything looks very good. There was kind of a stir about the possibility of the teaser they did using like AI or whatever, which obviously I wouldn't particularly like. It could have also just been like a weird like 4K upscale or stock. A lot of stock image sites have AI images now, unfortunately, and a lot of like lower budget productions like Kamen Rider are going to be using those kind of stock image websites for their background teasers. But regardless of what it is, we've seen footage from the actual show, and it looks like nothing like what the tease. Even though the teasers kind of were cool with the suit lighting up, there's still something. Anyways. The show looks like it's not going to be using any of that AI stuff for now, unless we see even more and it shows up. And even it might not even have been AI, but I know that scared me. When I saw the discussions online, all people saying like, "Oh, is this going to be AI?" And I was like, "No, please. This is the one shot for Kamen Rider to really make a name for itself in the modern era." And it might throw it away because they were being lazy and grabbed a stupid stock image or something. I feel like this franchise is based so much on this like Obviously, it's a toy commercial at the end of the day. But I do firmly believe, and I'm sure those of you who are 10 minutes into this video listening to this, if there's anyone still here, you kind of agree where, despite it just being like a toy commercial for children, there's so much passion put into the production of this series. So much of Tokusatsu is having no budget at all, having nothing to work with, and making the most out of it. That's how we get all those fun, like, scene transitions where they throw someone out a building, and then they go to a completely unrelated location, but they just, like, throw a few rocks, like, out the side of the screen, and like, well, they left that area, they're here now. Like, they just make it work, and it's so incredibly charming. And, I've made a few short films throughout my life itself, and it really speaks to that kind of process, where you're just working with absolutely nothing, and you're like, let's still try and make it good anyway. That, like, AI is like the antithesis to that. It's like, let's just not even care about the artistic integrity. Let's just not even care about what it looks like. Let's just throw something up there. It goes so against, like, all the cool stuff, like Tokusatsu, like, vibes, that I was so worried. But looks like that's not going to be a problem. And that's, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. I ended up spending a good chunk of it talking about how AI is bad and stupid, which is probably a look into what the entire future of humanity looks like. So let's enjoy that. But anyways, what do you guys think about this whole scenario? Is Kamen Rider finally gonna be recognized by those poor people out there who have no idea what they're missing? Well, be sure to like and subscribe and all that. I'll be uploading more these kind of style of videos, just me talking a lot, very, very chill, very casual, or maybe something scripted, something actually high effort. We'll see. All right, thank you guys. See you.